Hey Rick, how you doing, buddy? Mitch, what's up, bud? Hey Rick, how you doing, buddy? Mitch, what's up, bud? Oh, I gotta turn that off so we're not hearing ourselves here. That will drive me crazy. We have a lot going on, man. We are blessed in literally the very sense of the term here, with the new addition of Tony Cotton to the team here. I don't know if it's just a timing thing or, you know, there has to be something greater than me, whether it's Jesus or Buddha or, I mean, whatever your God is that you believe in. I don't discriminate. I just know that there's something greater than I am. That being said, it kind of goes along with my entire philosophy of, you know, treating others how you want to be treated, and you know, negativity, positivity, whatever you put out is an energy, and it definitely comes back tenfold. As I've said before, I haven't always been, you know, a good person. I've done a lot of shitty things to good people in my life, but I've done my best to make amends of those things and apologize and or pay back or do whatever was necessary to make things right in those circumstances. But I remember during those times, because it's been a long a lot of different eras of my life, you know. I remember during those times always feeling like, oh man, you know, life sucks. Oh, everything I do always falls apart, or blah blah. You know, I felt like I was always complaining, and you know, I pretty much was. But you know, looking back at that, it was honestly, you know, karma. It was honestly, you know, what I was putting out in the world. I was doing things half-assed. I was, you know, even though whatever I was building, whether it was cars or homes, whatever it was, I was always worried about myself first, or how much money I was making. And you know, a lot of the times I cut corners in order to get something done faster, you know, because the customer was pushing or whatnot. And in lieu of having the confrontation or the uncomfortable conversation with the customer to tell them that they have to wait, because you know, there's only one way to do this, and that's the right way, and it takes time. In lieu of having those uncomfortable conversations, a lot of the times I would cut corners, and it always ends up coming back to bite you in the ass. You know, you got to listen to that little feeling in your stomach that tells you right from wrong when you're doing something. And you know, nowadays I listen to that, and it's made a big difference in my life. Anyway, so back in the day when I was, you know, doing my stupid shit, you know, it always seemed like everything was coming around full turn. You know, if I was screwing somebody over, then somebody would in turn screw me over. You know, I mean, that's just how it is. You do something shitty to somebody, and it comes back to bite you, or somebody does something shitty to you. And I've noticed over the last decade or so, in changing the way I am I an asshole? Yeah, I'm still a fucking asshole. But the instances where I would normally cut corners or do something half-assed just to avoid confrontation, to make more money, whatever it may be, now I don't do those things, and my life is better for it. I honestly feel that the brand US Amps as a whole is on an uptick or an upswing. Not just because of the equipment. Obviously, I really think as a company, we found a few loopholes in the way people have been doing things, and we've been able to capitalize on those. Not capitalize to make money, but find a better way even if we're not building everything in-house, we found a better way to have other people assemble stuff for us and or follow a protocol that we set in place. And whether people want to admit it or not, or they want to try to pretend that they know what we're doing, and just because other people order equipment and get what they get, they assume that they know what we do. But that's not what we do here. And anybody that's been here knows that. Rick, you're on here, bud. You worked here for a little while. You see the way I've dealt with build houses. I don't know that you know the way other people deal with build houses, but I think from being around here, Rick, that I wasn't allowing build houses to give me what they wanted. I was telling them what I want. And if they didn't do it, then I moved on to the next one. I don't think everybody's done that until late. Not that I invented it, but I've definitely made a new way of having overseas companies assemble things for you or build things for you. Even in the instance where you let them design things, which we've basically done with the Merlin amplifiers. We allowed them to design the amplifiers for us. We didn't design them from scratch, but I told them what I wanted. The difference is we know what we're looking for. So if that company, whatever the build house may be, would have sent that amplifier to someone else that doesn't know better, they could probably get away with a lot of things. And unfortunately, that's what their MO is. It's about bulk. It's about not quality. It's about quantity. They have an industry term that they call please do accept, especially in Asia. I've now dealt with a few build houses in a few different countries, but Asia is well known for please do accept. And that's a term in their business where they know they've made a mistake on something, but in lieu of correcting it, because they'll have to go back into production and it'll cost them, potentially tens or maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on the minimum order quantity, they'll just cut a portion of the cost off for you, as long as you please do accept their mistake. I've made everybody known up front, once I learned that term, that we are not, US Amps is not and never will be a please do accept company. If you're going to work for us, then you're going to do things the way we want. Call me a control freak, call me whatever, but I honestly believe at this point our products are a direct result of those stipulations and those processes that we've put in place. I hope to God for the industry as a whole, for audiophiles as a whole, I pray to God that everybody follows suit. I don't understand why other companies wouldn't take 10 minutes to test an amplifier before sending it out the door. You don't have to necessarily spend $6,000 or maybe even $3,000 on a used 81 dyno. You can use a handheld 81, or, how about just turn the fucking thing on to make sure people don't get broken shit? And if it is broken, fucking take care of it. How many people spend their hard-earned money on something and then get it in the mail and it's either broken right out of the box, which is in the industry called DOA, or you turn it on and half hour later it breaks, and you're basically told to go fuck yourself. That's terrible. That's terrible. I'll honestly admit we make mistakes here. We're human, but I try my best to mitigate those issues and resolve them before they end up on the internet. That takes a lot of effort, believe it or not, because a lot of you guys are really fast with those thumbs, man. So as soon as I see that there's an issue, I try to take care of it immediately. There's a lot of times where, like with this stuff with the Merlin amplifiers, they've had their money for months now, and we're pretty much stuck. Thankfully, the port is now accepting ships, and we are, I'll let you guys know that we've already paid the tariffs. That means that my customs agent has been in contact with the boat, and the boat is ready to dock. That doesn't mean we have the amplifiers yet. Trust me, you guys, I cannot wait to get you guys your amplifiers. I cannot wait. Not just because I don't want people upset, but because I'm very excited about the world seeing that there is a better way for Class D. And I honestly thank you, Dirk Ecker. I'm so blessed to have that man in our corner and as our lead engineer. And you know, I have to thank Rigo. I didn't see if you're on here or not, brother, but I've told you guys before, and I'll tell you again, it was Rigo that reached out to me when I was just the CEO, and there was other people involved in trying to bring the brand back. Unfortunately, they were not all on the same wavelength that I was. They were more about just making money and trying to get a product out there, and not all of them were honest. We quickly got rid of those people, and thankfully Rigo reached out to me almost immediately, introduced himself, and introduced me to Daniel Kim, and I was able to buy the company. So we are now 5 years in, and as of January 2024, the website was officially up and running. And you know, we are now in June of 2026, and you know, I guess I'm kind of sitting here reminiscing because my accountant came here last Friday, and I'm not going to discuss numbers, but what we did for sales in 2024 when we first opened as a company, as opposed to what we did in 2025, is an absolute blessing. And I need to thank all of you guys that have, you know, not only purchased the product, but a lot of you guys that have been there since day one, supporting us back before we even had product to sell. But yeah, man, you know, if somebody would have told the 15-year-old version of me that you're going to end up buying US amps and releasing and learning how to design and releasing equipment and working with Dirk Ecker, I would have told you that you're out of your fucking mind. You know, no way in hell. But here we are, and we've now had a good addition in our R&D lab of Tony Cotton. I think you guys have heard, and that makes me hopeful moving forward for the R&D lab, because I was really, you know, close to shutting it down. My heart has always been in the build and you know, the design, and you know, having a customer bring you basically their blank slate, give you an idea whether it's verbally or pictures, and then creating a rendering, whether it's, you know, in pencil, or thankfully now we have Rigo, and he puts together what's pretty close to almost a perfect digital rendering, and then I have the customer pick it, and we get to build that. You know how amazing that is to, you know, right now, just for instance, guys, and then I'll start going back and taking your questions. Please welcome, and I love you guys. Thank you for joining. It is Tuesday. Sorry I didn't do Mondays with Mike. It's kind of a Tuesdays with Mike. But so right now we're in getting down to the last few days of a Dodge Charger Hellcat build. Challenger? Sorry, I'm not very familiar with the Dodges here, but look at this vehicle, man. Not everybody gets to work on beautiful vehicles like this, and for an owner, somebody to buy a vehicle like this and entrust us with a build, it makes my heart fucking smile. It makes the car builder, or, you know, hot rod lover in me absolutely elated. But to be able to take a vehicle like this and put together a digital rendering, get the owner to choose something that he sees that he likes, and then for us to be able to create it, it's an absolutely amazing thing, and I love it, and I feel it's definitely always been a blessing, but now we have a team in place that not only there has to be multiple parts to a build, right? You can't just love building cars. You have to have a certain amount of knowledge. You can't just love car audio. You know, you have to have a certain amount of knowledge, and there's levels to everything. And for what you guys know or may not know, whether I'm able to do all of those things or not, what I've always been good at is finding those that can. And moving forward, I always love to have people that want to learn and, better themselves. And then I love having people around me that know more. And I love to absorb that from them as well. So right now we have a great team here. We do have some more tools coming. I'm going to pick up a panel saw today. And man, we have a great team between our social media team. We're now growing as far as our advertising, and Jesse Hammonds has been doing some advertising for us. We're getting ready to, I think you guys don't even realize, and I'm very, very excited about, there's a lot of builds out there right now that are literally either waiting on the Merlin amplifiers to finish, and or they're waiting for a certain show and building towards that show. So there's a lot of builds that are going to be released this year that are, if not all US amps, at least powered by US amps. And I'm very excited for that because it's been a long time coming. But I started on this whole rant because of the increase in volume, not just in sales, but in the brand awareness and how much we've grown. So thank you guys very much. I still try my best to have a one-on-one relationship with almost every customer that orders equipment. Excuse me, sorry. It gets harder as we grow, but nonetheless, it's not going to make me stop trying. So, we have a vehicle like that Hellcat out there. Thank you, Mitch Sapp, for trusting us. It makes me even more excited when it's a person like Mitch. This is the owner of the Hellcat. His name is Mitch, one of the newest members of the US Amps family. But he's a builder from back in the day. And it's nice to see them share their pictures of their builds, from whether it was the 80s or 90s or whatever it is. Just like Cliff and Jeff, the guys that came from, I think it was West Virginia, with the Mustang. If you guys didn't get to see the Mustang at Made of Steel, you'll be seeing it at I think they're going to Slamology or one of the shows that's coming up real soon up north there. And those guys they brought a picture book of US Amps builds from back in the day. That's so cool. I love being part of, I call it the US Amps family, and a lot of people probably think it's bullshit, but for those of you that have witnessed or been a part of what it is that we try to do here, that that's not bullshit. And I mean that in every sense of the word, a US Amps family. And, everybody that comes out here, I try to treat with a mutual love and respect that, I hope to get in return. The Cobra. Yeah, that's right, Alex. Absolutely. That car, we're actually working on changing some of the box specs right now to get them a little more dialed in now that the subwoofers are broken in. And man, I love it. I'm very excited for what's coming. A lot of you guys don't know because we don't share a lot of the builds. Like, I'm honestly hoping that the people that are doing the builds will start sharing them on their own. That way it's more organic and it doesn't always come from us. I love the little build sheets that Rigo does for some of the builds, but I think it's also nice when somebody's excited and shares their own pictures of what it is that they're doing, especially when there's charisma involved. If you're talking to the person, you can feel the excitement about the build, not just about the product, but the build as a whole, man. And that's what I think, honestly, even though it's 121 degrees out in the shop, that's what we all feel here as we're working on this beautiful Hellcat out here, and I can't wait to share the finished product. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm learning, just like I always try to do. I never want to stop learning, but I'm learning that I need to know when to say no. We did have a vehicle in here the week before last that we probably had a little too much in a short amount of time to do, and I hate saying no. So I pushed not only myself but the team, and there were some mistakes made that now need to be remedied, and they will be remedied. But you know, that's it. That's what I think the difference is. You know, and I know for me, growing up, part of my changes to myself as a person was learning to be able to admit when you make a mistake, and to be able to apologize, and then follow through with the resolution for that, whatever it may be. A lot of the times, more often than not, if you guys knew from the business aspect what we've done in sales as opposed to what we have as capital, working capital, you would wonder what the hell's going on. And I'm sure my accountant is as well, but he knows what it is. It's the amount of money that I spend as a company repairing stuff that we're not supposed to repair, repairing stuff that people made a mistake and, you know, damaged something. There's a lot of stuff that gets lost in the mail that I just take care of. I mean, insert here. You know, there's a lot of times where people make mistakes. There's a lot of time where I make mistakes and I have to eat it. But also, you know, when you have an installation bay and there's multiple people that come in and go, there's mistakes made there that cost money. But there's never going to be a time where I will tell somebody, unless they're just a complete asshole and they're just continually doing the same thing over and over again and expecting me to eat it. There's never going to be a time where I'm going to leave somebody out in the cold and just say, you know what, screw you, enjoy your broken amplifier or whatever it is. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for an amazing 2025, 2024, and now what will be 2026. I've talked to a lot of people over the last few days as we're getting closer to the release of the Merlin amplifiers, and I'm seeing some pictures of some builds that are getting me very excited. So a lot of you guys aren't sharing them, and that's cool. I appreciate it. I want to see you guys share them when they're done, because a lot of people are not aware of how many US Amps builds, big US Amps builds there are out there in the world. So while we're doing this, before I get into answering your questions and running back, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining. You're welcome, Danny. Thank you for everything you did trying to help our sales team. So real quick, we have a lot of representation on the East Coast of the United States. In Florida, obviously very strong. It makes sense. That's where our main headquarters is. But I feel like as we move out towards the mid and then even to the West Coast of the United States, we're definitely lacking representation. I've tried reaching out to Ryan Bolins, who was supposed to be a big part of our team, and he's obviously interested in pursuing his own brand, which I don't blame him for. It's just not what we originally talked about, and so God bless. But I thought his van was going to be a good representation for us out there in California. No, not Berlin, Merlin. Is Chad, are you trying to be funny? Probably. Let me turn the fan down here. Sorry guys if you can't hear me. So, real quick, if any of you guys, oh, wow, we have 166 people watching. Thank you for joining, guys. Okay, so while we have 166 people on here, anybody in California, Arizona, New Mexico, Seattle, like, name it, Utah, anyone on the West Coast of the United States that has a build or is building a build, we're looking for representation out there. I want people that excel. You know, if you don't have a current standing in Base Wars or one of the organizations, that's perfectly okay as well. I do want to be involved in your build. We have plenty of help here to help make sure that you achieve your goals, but not looking for, we don't do full sponsorships here at US Amps. I think a lot of people are under the misconception that we give equipment away here. I can't do it. I wish that I could. If I choose to, then that's my prerogative, but I don't always do that because I'm not in a position to. But we do have team pricing, which can considerably save a lot of money over the price that you see on usampsinc.com. So if any of you guys know somebody out on the other coast of the United States that has a build that they want to switch to a brand and be part of a family, or if you know somebody on the other coast that is building a build and wants to be part of the family, please hit me up. I mean, I would prefer, obviously, to have people that have a strong social media following, but even if you don't, we will help with that. We're just looking to grow the brand and grow the awareness. You know, I wear a US Amp shirt almost everywhere I go. I've been in this area now for over 3 years. I still go to the main Publix here to go grab groceries, and oh, US Amps, man, I remember those things. They were great. No, they're not we are. And they don't even realize that we're still, you know, here. Excuse me, sorry. So, another thing real quick before I get to your questions. So, thank you to Trevor Moon at All Things Car Audio. He will be doing a completely unbiased test of the Merlin amplifier. He purchased one at full price. I did not give him a break. I did not give him a deal. He specifically asked for that, to pay full price, because he wants to be able to do whatever he wants to do as far as testing and give his unbiased opinion, and that's what I want. Also want to thank the guys over at Trunk Thunder Lithium, you know, Brandon. But really, as of late, Seth at Glow Voltage and the team over at Glow Voltage. Seth has been not only instrumental in raising my awareness and knowledge of lithium, because I was, as of 3 or 4 years ago, I was completely illiterate in lithium and its multiple chemistries and different aspects of that type of charging when it comes to audio. But he's also been helpful in helping us find different ways of testing resistance and whatnot. If you guys haven't taken the time to go on YouTube and join the US Amps page, subscribe. You don't have to like all the videos. I would appreciate it if you do. If you guys want to see something, please let me know. Also, on Mondays and, you know, Mondays, Tuesdays, whatever days it is with Mike, if there's something you want to see, please let me know. But if you haven't taken the time to check out Glow Voltage's YouTube channel, Seth has taken the time, and I've been spending the last few days when I can, I've been watching. He has a lot of great informational videos where he does testing, not only of his own stuff, but other types of lithium, fuses, wire, connectors, everything that has to do with your electrical and or charging system. So Seth was wanting us to test a new LTO. It's the same chemistry as Skib LTO, but it's in a different cylinder. Let me see. Oh, I have one right here, guys. So this is what he wanted us to test. Obviously, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 6 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So what is that? 6S12P, right? I'm not great with this stuff. Anyway, so this is not LifePo. This is not Headway. This is LTO. He wanted us to test it, obviously, with our bigger 500HC amplifiers that draw a lot of amperage, because these things are supposed to be really heavy. As far as discharge, also allow you to run as low as, I think, 14.2, which the Skib and other LTO likes to charge higher, and that was the problem. The charging over the last few years has gone upward in voltage in a way to help the shittier designed amplifiers produce more power. No, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 6S. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12P. 6S 12P. Anyway, so yeah, the lithium and the other chemistries have, over the last few years, they've basically changed the whole industry into a higher charging voltage, because it was a way to essentially trick the shittier design Korean and Chinese and Brazilian half bridge and full bridge amplifiers into making more power. So what I've had to do over the last few years, and the other guys here as well, is change our protection circuits to allow the higher charging voltage, because a lot of people have these other, or these banks, you know, these lithium banks. So when Seth shared this with me, I was very excited about it, you know. Hey, great. So now we don't have to worry about these higher charging voltages. It's not necessary anymore. And we can still have the amperage, which is what creates power, for those of you that know Ohm's law. So it was very exciting to me. Anyway, I tested it on a 500HC, and the bank, without support, I charged it up to 15.2 volts because that's what my charger was set at, and it ran a 500HC without issue. Normally, once I pull 2 or 3 runs on the dyno, especially at dynamic power, with this large LTO bank that I've been using thanks to Glow Voltage for the last, year and a half now, usually even with support, this bank starts to pull down 5, 6, 7, almost a whole volt, like down to 14.7, 14.6 if I'm charging at 15.2, 15.3. So I've seen it go as low as 14 and into the 13s if I get into 4 or 5 pulls on the 500HC. But what this bank did was allowed me to pull 3 or 4 dynamic power runs on the dyno, the Resisted Bank SMD81 dyno, without having electrical support, and it only dropped like 0.2. So of course, then it was time for Brendan to try it. Over the last few years, I've been able to talk Brendan into trying out a lot of things, except for electrical. Like he moved from whatever he had as an alternator, and I got him a Mechman. I believe Mechman is the end-all be-all unless you're going Ohio Generator, but there's not many, I'll get into that in another show. There's not many alternator companies that actually produce the amperage that they say they do. Mechman is one of the few. Anyway, so but Brendan was dead set against touching anything when it came to his C-Max. His C-Max was the end-all be-all, and he didn't want anything to do with anything else. Again, I don't know if it was a higher power, but somebody stepped in and he started to lose part of his C-Max. I'm sorry, I wasn't hoping for that, but it did work out at a good time, because I just happened to have a bunch of these cells that Seth sent over. So Brendan, my ever loved, always tester of everything that I want beat to shit, he tried testing out this new bank. I think he put 2 of them in his car, and he's elated, he's excited, and that excites me. So I am going to, I'm waiting on 4,000 of these cells. I was going to put, Seth offered to make a US Amps label for the cell. I don't really care what the cells say on them. I'm not buying them to in turn sell them and make money. I just want everybody in the US Amps family that has our equipment to have the proper electrical support. If you don't go to Seth at Glow Voltage, or you don't go to Brandon at Truck Thunder Lithium, then whomever comes here to have something built, or if you're buying an amplifier, I can build your bank for you here. So that's what that's about. It's not about taking anything away from any of the other companies. I'm sure there's many companies out there that might have something similar. I'm not saying that we're the only ones to have it, but it is definitely something that's new, and it's exciting because of the lower charging voltage. That will allow people that have stock alternators to utilize these banks. I don't see a problem with it. I really don't. I wouldn't put it in a SPL vehicle that wants to demo all day and then run through the lanes on a stock alternator. But if you just have a nice system and it's something in your daily, as long as you give, and here's another thing that a lot of people don't think about. If, even with a higher output alternator, if all you do is get in your vehicle, turn the vehicle on, turn your system on, start jamming, you drive to wherever you're driving to, and then you turn it off, and you never turn the audio off and give your banks a time to charge off of the alternator, if you don't have an external plug to plug in your lithium, you guys are doing your lithium and your whatever you're charging with, whether it's AGM or what, you're doing it a disservice. You got to give it time to charge. So a lot of people don't do that, but as long as you turn your radio off and you're giving your bank time to charge, even with a factory alternator, I think these banks will be sufficient. So, all right. So I'm going to go back here and try to catch up on some of these questions. Wow, there's a lot. So thank you guys for joining, man. I really appreciate it. This is very exciting. Joseph Welsh, what's up, buddy? Please share some pictures of your build, Joe. Joe is not just part of the US Amps family, but part of his family. So Zane, drum, welcome. Giuseppe, welcome. Joshua, welcome. Nico, welcome. Carlos, Rigo, what's up, buddy? Joshua. Julio, what's up, man? Mad Wizard, good morning. Is it morning? Because I haven't slept, so I don't know. It's another run-on day. Mr. Wasden, what's up, brother? How are you? Todd, how are you, man? Todd has a beautiful Volkswagen Bug that we are getting ready to US amplify. We have a few renderings that we've put together. We're getting ready to do a really nice build in his vehicle. He's got a beautiful Resto Mod Bug. Rick, what's up, buddy? Brendan, what's up, man? Chris, how are you? Billy Fiantaco, I need that Legato 12. What's the wait time to get? Again, Billy, you know what? I wish I had the capital. Everything that we have as a company was put into getting the Merlin amplifiers here, and not just getting what was ordered, but getting double the order so we had stock. I didn't want to just get what was ordered here, because then we'd have nothing else to sell. So hopefully once those amplifiers get here and we can re-up a little bit, the next thing we're doing is getting the subwoofers here. The Legato 12, if somebody just needs one unit, I can get one or two pieces. But to actually get the US Amps version that has our app that's made for us, I have to order 500 units. And as of right now, it's just not in the cards for us. Maybe by this time next year, I don't know. I don't want to make any promises. But for those of you like Billy that's wanting a unit, please message me, and I can get a unit here and get you the app that will work. We've been using them for 6 or 7 months. So Dalton, what's up, buddy? How are you? Thank you. I appreciate the kind words, Chris. Mario, what's up? Mr. Frederick, how are you? Stan, welcome. MM1 is pretty darn accurate. Yes, yeah. MM1? I'm not familiar with that, but if that's a dyno of some sort, an amplifier measurement for power, awesome. Matt Pecor, what's up, buddy? So Matt is putting together a nice little build with a Merlin X15, and I just sent him one of the last prototype of the Merlin 5Ks that we had from S&I. It's a stout little amplifier, and it's going to run that 15 well until we can get him into something else. So I don't think the 100HC was going to push that Merlin 15. Oh man, I'm sorry AmpLab did that to you. Sorry, Billy. I hate to hear that. If there's something that you need help with, hit me up. I'll gladly help. Rob RMZ, welcome. Marcus Mack, Stan. John Threcold, what's up, my friend? How are you? Jason Hardison, good morning. Terry Ray, we got Team Megahertz in the house. All right. Jamie Tuggle, what's up, my friend? All right. Alex, the egg in the house, what's up, buddy? Challenger Hellcat, yes, that's what it is, sorry. Jimmy Price, welcome. Michael Pickett, welcome. Cam, what's up, buddy? How are you? Yes, we will have, this is probably the first year, what is it, Slamology, I believe, that we'll have a few US amps built at Slamology. So, I mean, again, that just talks about how the word is spreading and how the equipment is starting to get out there. And man, I mean, I know from being a shop owner for years, like I was a Mats dealer, I was a Soundstream dealer, name it, digital design. It gets really, really old getting DOA equipment. It gets really old putting an amplifier in and having it fail. It gets really old putting in a subwoofer and having it fail. You know, we're trying really hard to mitigate those issues that other brands have. And yeah, it takes longer for us to go into production, but I mean, if it doesn't show, the proof's in the pudding. So as I said earlier, we went live in January of 2024. To date, we've sold between the 50HC, 100HC, and SQ442, we've sold over 4,500 units. I can count on probably 3 or 4 hands how many amplifiers have been returned. Yeah, that's probably a lot if you think about it, you know, 20 or 25 100HCs, but more often than not, it's people. I don't want to blame the people. The 100HC makes a lot of power, but it's not made to drive a Sundown SV5, or I don't know all the model numbers of the newer subwoofers, but when you have a subwoofer that has a giant motor force, a giant motor like these or these, they're not extremely efficient in movement, and you go throwing a 100HC on there when you have a single 1/0 wire run to it for power and ground. That amplifier is trying to pull 500 amps through a wire that'll only allow 175 amps, and it gets hot and then it fails. That's what most of the 100HCs have been returned for. But even regardless of that, let's just say that there was multiple issues, which there's not. That return rate for the amount of equipment that we sold is, I think, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. We have had a few more 442s as of late being returned, but a lot of you will admit, you know, I had one guy say, hey man, I saw that it was 1 ohm stable, so I bridged it at 1 ohm. You gotta take the time to read the owner's manuals. Rigo more so than myself, especially now, but back even in the beginning with the 50, the 100, and the 442, we take a lot of time putting the verbiage and information into the owner's manuals so you guys have it. If you don't take the time to read the stuff, we can't just warranty and keep replacing stuff for free. Scott Courier, thank you, brother, man. Yeah, a lot of these, I love seeing a lot of these names that, I've had personal conversations with. You guys have my phone number. We text, I love the family, man. I really do. Richard Bethia, welcome. US Sam's family is 100% legit. I'm a nobody, just a single dad who loves bass. They treat me no different than the big dogs. I put my pants on the same way you do, Cam. Something that, I've learned over the years. I didn't grow up with money. I don't come from money. My family wasn't poor. I grew up with basically a single mom. We didn't have a lot. There was a lot of times where we were packing up, on the 30th to be out before the 1st, because she obviously, now that I'm older, I realize she didn't have the rent money. I remember being embarrassed to have people come to the house that I lived in. But that's silly child stuff. But what I learned as I got older and I opened my first business, and then my second and third business, and at some point became what I thought was successful because I started to make money. That was when you grow up with a lack of money, at least in my family, that's what was always shoved into my mind, is if you make money, if you make $1 million, you make, 200,000, whatever it is, you're going to be happy. That's it. What you need money. If you have money, then that's everything. And I learned rather quickly that that's not how it is. And, money isn't everything. And, I honestly believe that the higher power, whatever it is, Mother Earth, God, Buddha, insert your God here, quickly took it away from me to show me that I was wrong in what I was doing. And just because you have monetary funds doesn't make you better than somebody that doesn't. And if you're in the position monetarily to help those that don't necessarily have the money, and you choose not to, then that says a lot about your character. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't just give money away. I'm not in a position to do that. But, and again, if you're not trying, there was many times in my life where I've worked 3 jobs. I'm supposed to be retired now, but I'm working. I don't know if you guys heard me. I'm still up from yesterday. That's not bullshit. If I lay down after I take a shower and I fall asleep for an hour, is that like you guys sleep? No. I think I slept for an hour and a half, maybe, between 2 times of sitting down. One of the times was in this chair. You can't fucking cheat the grind. Does it mean if you work 20 hours a day that you're gonna be rich? Not necessarily, because there's free will involved in there, and you have to use that time properly. You have to focus your energies in a proper manner to be successful. Again, success is not all about money either, but if you get to a point to where you're in a position to help people and you don't, it's not the way to be, So I try. When I see people trying, and I see people that deserve, a handshake, deserve a pat on the back, deserve an amplifier, because that's my way of a pat on the back, then I try to help out those that I feel deserve it. Sometimes I'm wrong, and I end up seeing that later, but it's not going to change the way I am. I'm going to continue to try to help those that I feel deserve it. I'm going to continue to try to be kind and be good to everybody, and especially those that are good to me. And I'm not better than anybody. I'm just a fucking dipshit that happened to get lucky and be in the right place at the right time, and was able to purchase this company. And it's my my lack of the ability to quit that has gotten me to where I am. I'm no fucking genius. Anybody can do what I'm doing as long as you don't give up. I've noticed a lot of the times, even in people that I meet on a daily basis, whether they work here or come here, or I come in contact with them, or I see them talking on the internet with their thumbs. Everybody's so quick to quit. And man, regardless in life, you can't give up. You can't quit, no matter what. No matter what. If there's something that you want and you quit before obtaining that, then I don't think you really wanted it. You know? There's always an excuse. But in lieu of an excuse, find the way, find the path, find the reason. Not always whatever that is that you think that you want, that might not always be what's for you. And just because you think you want it, it might not be what's best for you. And whatever that is up above, whatever you believe in, will guide you that way. So just because you don't get what it is that you think you want doesn't mean that you're not loved, or you're not it's not okay to keep trying. You got to keep trying. You got to keep pushing forward, no matter what it is. You can't give up, man. But thank you guys. I really appreciate. Cam, that's really nice to say. And a single dad, that's tough, man. And God bless you for doing that. And your kids will really fucking appreciate that. I know it. I know it. I thought as a young father, I thought that giving my kids what I didn't have, which was money, buying things, was being a good dad. But they want your time. Kids don't know that they don't have things unless you make it known. If you're complaining about money, then they'll realize they don't have money. If you're not complaining about money, they don't think about that shit. That's not kids' thoughts. Kids want your time. They want to do things with you. If you're happy playing with this fucking pencil, they're going to be happy playing with the pencil with you. Doesn't seem like there are many shows in the near future. Joshua, I'm not sure where you are, but there's some shows coming up. I actually just spoke with John Kent. US Amps is going to be the main sponsor for the Florida Car Audio Finals. We will be the main sponsor of the Florida Car Audio Finals. US Amps. Alex, I think it'll be hilarious when I do over a 50 at 20 on 2,500 watts with our AI catalog subs. Yeah, and our Class D amplifiers that have higher damping factor, even though damping factor doesn't exist, right? Our fake Alibaba subs. All right. You're welcome, Danny. Need completed pics of your ride. My ride? What are you referring to? Completed pics of my ride? If I didn't think that we would lose the connection, I would take you guys out to show you the Range Rover. We now have it 100% fully functioning. We have a new hand-built 24-inch sub in there. Thank you, Brendan Gardner, for helping out with that. Thank you. Tony Cotton has taken over building subs here. And I tell you what, if anybody has something to say about these glue joints, then they can go jump off a bridge, because he's done an amazing job here. And we have a gun on the way, and I think these are going to be even better after we get the gun here. So I am not going to quit or give up based on haters. Haters just make me want to try harder, man. Tony's done a great job. So here's the sub. We took the sub apart that Jeffrey Allen showed the video of it sparking. Yeah, the voice coil let go. It got way too hot. Way too hot. All right. Let me get back to your questions here. 253 viewers. Wow, that's a new high. I appreciate it, guys. Tim Marion, what's up, brother? How are you? Texas. We do have representation in Texas. MTI, Christopher Payton, the team over at MTI, just built that Blazer, which, if you want to see the MTI Blazer in person, join us at Slamfest, I think in October. US Amps will have a pretty decent sized booth at Slamfest as well. So Anthony will be repping in Louisiana. Yes. Yep. Just talked with Anthony this morning. Wait a minute, I have to pay for my equipment. Again, trust me, man, I wish I was in the position to just give it away. I would. Houston. I don't know how far away Houston is from College Station without looking on Google, to be honest with you, Adrian. But I'm open to a discussion. That's not quite California, but it's moving further out there, and we don't have a lot of representation in Texas currently. We did, or I thought I did, but I think they decided to try to build their own brand or something, because now I haven't heard from them. A lot of people see, these lives, and they see the videos that we share, and they see me laughing and smiling all the time, and they probably are under the misconception that what we do here is easy and fun, and it couldn't be further from the truth. And I think a lot of people that have come here to work have realized that as well, and that's why they're no longer here. Even though I'm fat and out of shape compared to what I've been most of my life, and I'm old, people half my age still have a hard time keeping up. So yeah, we go at it pretty hard here, man. I wear my US Amp shirts all the time. Dude, I'm seeing, I was able to see some of the newer shirts at the show. Those are awesome. I want to order some myself. Jimmy Simpkins, welcome, man. How are you? Tartan Tarmac Ticklers. Any interest in a UK audio build? Brand new Mini Cooper convertible. Man, convertibles are tough for audio, but yes, I'm open to it. Just about to purchase it, and we'll be ripping the back seats out. Tartan Tarmac Ticklers. That's a strange name, but hit me up, man. I'm open to a conversation. Very good information on Glow Voltage YouTube. Yeah, Seth is very informative and is great in his instructional videos. So give him a shot, man. Check it out. Peter DiVirgilio, what's up, buddy? How are you? Hope you're having a good day as well. Thank you for joining. You are going to be the very first person to receive a 5K. You have my word. I understand you're not wanting any of the ones that we used over the weekend, so. That is a beefy bank. It is. It's not large per se. I guess I should measure it so you guys can see, but the cells are a little bit smaller in size than the LifePo. But let's see here. So we're just about, don't touch, we're just about 8 inches wide by, let's see, sorry, I'm trying to do this without touching it and or arcing anything. So it's about 8 by 16. And 8 by 16 by like 6.5 high. So 8 by 16. And that bank, comparatively, I guess, Brendan, if you want to jump in and respond if you're here, since you've actually tested 2 of them. From what I understand, the output power of this one bank is like 2 of the 43.5 skip banks. That's pretty beefy. Yes, that is 6S. See, there's 6 in series. And 12 in parallel. That is correct, Terry. 6S, 12P, 120 amp hour. But the discharge rate and charge rate, and it's the lower charging voltage that makes it a little more user friendly for a lot more people, I think. Gary Ali, welcome. That's a new name. I need one more bank. Well, come get it. Brad Curran, welcome. Renee, what's up, brother? How are you? I've seen some pictures of your build. I see it's coming along. You need to come over here and get 2 10s. I have 2 10s built for you here. I have a 220 amp hour 4S LifePo 4 Eve pack, 14.8 volts. Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with those, Dalton. I use LifePo. I use them in some of our builds. I have them in a few of my personal builds, but the discharge rate of the LifePo 4 is not as strong under heavy stress. If you're using a lot of Class A/B, or if you're using a lot of power that's Class D and putting it under a lot of strain all at once, this technology, this chemistry is a little more forgiving and a little stronger than the LifePo 4, from my knowledge. I'll take care of you, Matt, when you're ready. Absolutely. Damien, FKN Link. Oh, what's up, buddy? Thank you, Damien, for being patient with me. Damien was kind enough to sell me back Tony Cotton's ACCL SPL winning Dodge Durango after putting a lot of work in it himself. I'm very excited to get that vehicle and fill it with US Amps gear and go tickle some taints, because that thing moves. That moves something, and I'm excited about getting our equipment in there and doing something with it. Thank you, Damien. All right, not a lot of questions. You guys don't have a lot of questions? I will wait and get you to build me one. You don't have to wait. We got them in stock, buddy. Them banks are so stout, it's kind of nuts. Okay, so if you guys are seeing Brendan Gardner saying that, I forget, what did you have, Brendan, before? 180 amp hours of CMAX, 190 amp hours of CMAX? I mean, a lot of you guys know that Brendan would power other people's cars with his car at the shows if people needed juice. His bank was pretty strong. So if he's saying that these banks are strong, that means something. Christian Koprover, are you listening to him? I'm glad you're learning something, and that's what I try in the midst of my blabbing. You're welcome, Joseph. Absolutely, brother. Is that the 180 amp hour we talked about? No, the 180 that you and I spoke about, Tim, is a regular LifePo 4. It will work great on 3 stock alternators, absolutely. If your stock alternators are, even 100 amp and you have 3 of them, there's nothing wrong with that. In the Raider, we won the ring last year. I didn't even have a Mechman alternator in it because the Ohio Generator alt that was dedicated to the audio system in the Team US Amps Dodge Raider, we had one for the vehicle and the Ohio Generator separate that would run the audio. That's been in there since the 90s. It finally took a shit. I didn't get the alternator put in time, and we had basically just a stock like 120 amp or 100 amp alternator in there, and it was powering 2 43.5 skid banks, but it was dedicated to those skid banks, and it did just fine. I don't know if the vehicle could demo all day long and then run the lanes and then go demo, but to do what we needed to do to win the ring for bottom out, it was more than sufficient. And I know I show this thing all the time, and some of you probably think it's funny, but I absolutely love this thing, and it means something to me. I remember the first time I saw Brendan's, and I said I want one, and 1 year later, US Amps Raider 154.9 dB, no wall 2, bottom out. I love this, man. This means something to me. We are going after a new goal. Now we have a new goal, but question from Wesley S. Will the Exterminator 15s handle the power of the Merlin 5K at 0.5 ohm, half ohm, for daily use, competition only, Michael James? So the Merlin 5K at half ohm produces well over, I mean, damn, let me get this. So when we strapped them, it did over 19,000. So you're well over, let's just be easy and say 8,000 watts. We know it does more than that. So at half ohm, it's going to do, let's just be nice and say 7,500, even though we know it does more than that. That's at less than 1% total harmonic distortion. No, they will not be able to handle that. Not full rip. We've done it, and we've shown it, and yes, 2 15s were in Brendan's car on just a 5K, then 2 5K strapped, then a 10K, then I think 2 10K strapped, maybe. I don't know. I think we went to something else then. I'm not sure. But yes, they handled it. Would I do it for a daily driver? No. No, the subs are not made for that. If you're doing it for competition only, and it's just to go through the lanes, the subs will probably last a season at that. They're really only made to handle 1,500 to 2,000 watts per sub RMS. That's what the Exterminator 15s are made to handle. We can make you a more powerful sub, we can make a Neo or the Ferrite / Neo motor version of our subs. We can build you a sub that can handle the Merlin 5K at half ohm. And we can build it to the spec to where the amplifier can run at half ohm. We will, we have custom voice coils here. We can build that sub for you, but I wouldn't do it. It's not going to last. Rafael Jose Perez Lopez, welcome. Please announce that we are out of SQ442s, but we are working on getting more units. So we have enough parts for 300 SQ442s ready to ship. Unfortunately, again, we are, using our money as it comes in. Right now, we just paid the tariffs for the Merlin 5Ks and 10Ks. So I think over the next, hopefully, week or two, we're going to work on getting about 50 of those SQ442s here, and that will more than fill. I think we have right now 12 or 13 people waiting on SQ442s. So the 50 that are coming will more than fill those and leave us some more. And then hopefully within a few weeks of that, we'll be able to get, the other 50 and so on. So if you need an SQ442 and you need it immediately, please don't order because we don't have them in stock right now. Okay? We do have other options. Our 50HC, our 100HC, those are both 2-channel full range amplifiers. You can use those for mids and highs. We do them all the time. They're just not 4-channel. So if you're buying an SQ442 and planning to bridge the 1 and 2 channel and the 3 and 4 channel, then just give us a shout and let's see what your power needs are, because you might be better off with a 50HC or a 100HC. Anyone who's wanting... Oh, Rigo just said the same thing. I didn't even see that. Sorry, Rigo.
Rigo said, anyone who is wanting to use an SQ442 can also use a 50HC instead of running passive crossover and components. Nico can't cool. Oh, yeah, you were on there earlier. Sorry, buddy. I'm just trying to say hello to everybody. Oh, the SMD AMM1. Yes, absolutely. Yes, that's a great tool. The AM1 is one of the handhelds that shows clamped on. Yes, absolutely. Edward Beecher, welcome. That's a new name. No, you can't run passive crossovers in series. I have to say, if you're running our US Amps Timber series and you're able to, please, 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 if you're able to run them active, that is not using the passive crossovers, using a DSP, and using the channels of the amplifier to run subs or mid sub, I guess, mid woofer, separate from the mid driver, separate from the tweeter, then that's what I suggest you do. Brendan's point in building the Big John's Suburban, the point in doing that was to show you, because there was a lot of people having problems with running the passive crossovers. And Brendan's like, I don't know what everybody's problem is. I've been running them in his little car, the little Suzuki, for over a year without an issue, and he plays his music full crack all the time. I think he has a 50HC on a pair of 8s in there. I'm just trying to show you guys things in the background as I'm talking. But if you can run the Timber series in without the passive crossovers, if you can run them active, you're going to thoroughly enjoy the difference in what you hear. I promise you. I do still have 1, 2, 3 brand new US Amps optimizers from back in the day. Let me put this down real quick. I really thought that we would have sold these by now. I would love to get these in the hand of somebody that would really want them for their build and or, let's see here, how can I do this? So for those of you that don't know, an optimizer was US Amps. Back in the day, it was their way to stop people from blowing up their amplifiers by not having enough voltage and amperage. So you could take your input from your battery and your output you can adjust it. This is probably set up at just at 15 volts. So no matter what your charging system was at, your amplifier would always see X, whether it's 14.7, 15, some of them were up to 16 volts. I have one on the wall over here, but this one is brand new. I have 3 of them in silver available. I also have one in purple. Let's show you this one up here. See the optimizer. 14.4 and 16 volt. This one has the switch. It had one input and multiple outputs. I know back in the day, if I remember correctly, and this might have just been the store that I worked at, if you didn't buy 3 optimizers with your VLX 400, they would not warranty your VLX 400. But that was how people got their juice out of the VLX 400s. All right. Yes, I use one with Steely. All right. Be clear. Kyle Taylor, what's up, brother? How are you? Hey, Peggy, how are you? So for those of you who don't know, Peggy Crawford is on here. Peggy used to be, pretty much in charge of everything at the Gainesville US Amps. A lot of the handwritten numbers and model numbers and stuff on the old PCBs, that was all her handwriting. Merlin Amplifier Owner's Manual will be available on our website and in our official US Amps fan group. Yes, absolutely. Just so you know, when you get your Merlin amplifier, it's not going to have an owner's manual in it. That was another thing that was delaying the process and progress. So Rigo and I spoke about it. We said, you know what? Whomever gets an amplifier, they're not going to want to wait another 8 weeks. Imagine if we were waiting another 8 weeks just for an owner's manual. You guys would probably all hate me even worse than you hate me now. So we will have the owner's manual available on the website. I bought my first new US amps in November 24, I believe it was, and had never had an issue. Thank you very much, buddy. Absolutely. Roger Vigil, how you doing, buddy? Welcome. Anthony, what's up, fam? Are all US amps and Merlin amp manuals online? No. We are working on that. We do have, Chad, if there's a certain model that you're looking for, please let me know, because I have a lot of the older manuals here. I can print them for you and send them to you depending on what it is that you're looking for. This is from, I think, 99, but I have a lot of them not only printed out, but I have them in digital form for pretty much every model. I have a lot of the older ones, even into the early 90s. This is my Alma Gates stuff. This was out of the Alma Gates vehicle, these pieces. And this is the telling you where it was in the build. We have a lot of these older manuals anyway, so if you need something, please let me know. I have, look at these. I got, that's the same one, but tell me that's not an oldie and a moldy. Look at this thing. A lot of people don't know. See, you see here how they had 2 speakers running stereo, and then the 2 channels also bridged running a 3rd speaker. A lot of people don't know that our current amplifiers can do the same thing. I wouldn't try that with insert your other name brand here, but there you are right here. Look at this. 7325 Northwest 13th Boulevard, Gainesville, Florida. All right. So yes, if you're looking for an older manual, I probably have it. Let's face it, race car engines blow up all the time. It's like a turbo kit on an LS, and blame the turbo company. Pistons melted. Yes. All right. River, what's up, buddy? How are you? River Law in the house. All right. Dominic, all the way from Germany. What's up, buddy? How are you? Dominic's USA 4000 is sitting on my wall right here. I'm just joking. I'm saying that because I want him to buy it. I think he has one just like it. This one is very clean. I have the original box for it. It's just dusty. See? It's almost perfect. I can recap it for you if you need, buddy. Hit me up. Suncoast Amp Lab is watching. That's another shout out. Obviously, I got to give a shout out to Sam Cloutier at Suncoast Amp Lab. If you guys don't already know, if you have an issue with your US amps or a warranty issue with your US amplifier, go to our website and go to the drop down. There is a spot for warranty
I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me. Let me look. Let me do this right now so I don't misguide you. I have the computer here. Let's see. USAmpsInc.com. Dirk holding the 10K. I love that. I love it. All right, meet our team. Oh, so right on the very top, when you first go to USAmpsInc.com, it says AMP Repairs and Refurbishment. You click on that, and it says right on it, Suncoast Amp Lab, AMP Repairs, US Amp Repair and Service. US Amps has partnered with Suncoast Amp Lab to handle all official US Amps amplifier repair and refurbishment services. Suncoast Amp Lab will manage the full repair process for our customers, including warranty repairs, non-warranty repairs, RMA processing, repair estimates, invoices and payment processing, shipping management, detailed repair reports for customers. If your US amplifier requires service, please complete the repair request form below so our team can review your request and begin the RMA process. You may also contact the repair department correctly by email. Questions at suncoastamplab.com. There's also a link for you to go for you to message them directly, and a technician will review your request, provide instructions for sending in your amplifier for evaluation and service. Do not ship any equipment until your RMA number has been issued. A lot of people have been messaging me and then just sending the amp in to me. Please, moving forward, let's follow the instructions properly. That way it's going to mitigate any issues and confusion between Sam and I. We just want to provide the best service possible. We want to make sure that there's no confusion, and what creates confusion is when there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. We need to follow the instructions. If you follow those instructions, Sam will get back to you after he talks to me to make sure that you've done what? What's he going to look for? He wants to make sure that you filled out your warranty registration card and have sent it in. I just said it earlier, we've sold over 4,500 amplifiers. That has nothing to do with our Impact amps. That has nothing to do with our Merlin amps. That has nothing to do with subwoofers or the classics or our three-way components, or, I mean, we've sold a lot. I probably have maybe 30 at most warranty repair cards out of all of those amplifiers. So don't be surprised and or upset when your warranty is not taken care of for free. If you've made a boo-boo, I can't promise that it's not going to cost you, you know. Please take the time to read your owner's manual. If you're unsure, please ask. You can ask any of us. If you can't find a video on what it is that you're trying to do, I've shared a video of me blowing up a 100HC by only using a single 1-aught power and ground and trying to run it at 2 ohm mono. I popped it right here live. So if you're trying to run your 100HC at 2 ohm mono or even 4 ohm mono and you're only using a single 1-aught wire, it's not going to work. We've tried to provide as much information as possible. So please go to Suncoast Amp Lab for all of your repairs and warranty service, okay? Robert Sparks, welcome, brother. Robert is, so just so you guys know, the Team US Amps Ranger is no longer available. We are building it for a US Amps family member. Thank you for the kind words, Matt Pecor. I appreciate it, brother. Guys, we will be building a new VLX 400 in the next few months. It will take up to 12 weeks. Yes, we had another order placed yesterday. That is number 13. We are only releasing 30 of the new VLX 400s, which will be 2 500HCs strapped
and put together. It will also come with a custom case. You can name the color. It is built for you, and the case that it comes in will let everybody know that. So that is a limited edition product, and yeah, we just sold one yesterday, so that was pretty exciting. Thank you for reminding me, Rigo. I spoke to that gentleman probably over an hour or so, and then he pulled the trigger. So, yep. Kevin Pate, welcome. Sean Parks, welcome. All right, I don't see. There is a video walkthrough of the Rover. That's a statement, and yes, I guess there is. I know the guys over at Tony and the guys over at Creative Car shared a video, but we've definitely got it dialed in and have changed a few things, and not tuning wise, I'm not a sound quality tuner, but the sub was having issues, and we've built a lighter version of the sub so it can run off of the 100 HC without issue, and now the 24 is in there and pounding, and I'm very excited with the way it sounds. I've been driving the truck around. I'm actually working on some grills for the 8s that are in the kicks and the 4s that are up on the dash. These are just for protection, not trying to win awards with them. I just want them to be protected so they don't get kicked. See, they have neodymium magnets on the backside to attach to the metal rings. If these work and you guys want these for your timbers, let me see how long it takes to put them all together, and we will discuss a price if you're interested. I am going to try clearing these and filling the grain and then making them smooth. Maybe trying a color. I don't know. We'll see. Zach Ferguson says Big Tony with 2 muscles. Big Tony is a welcome breath of fresh air here at the US AMP lab, the R&D lab. I was able to go away this weekend and go see my grandchildren and come back to a shop that is not in utter disarray. It was very refreshing. So looking forward to all the things that we do here. MTI Acoustics, yes, correct, Anthony. That is who built the Team US Amps Blazer out there for a customer. You have new merch heading your way, MJ. Wow, thank you. I was actually getting ready to go on USAmpsinc.com and order some of the new merchandise because I really love some of those new designs. I'm just very funny about what touches my skin. I'm usually 100% cotton. Snapback hats. Wow, there's a lot available now. Oh, I love those little logos. Wow, how cool. Uh-oh, pink beanies. How cool. Oh, wow. There is so much more available on our website. Wow. Thank you, Rigo. That's exciting. Jeff Kyle, welcome. Jason Swain, what's up? Everyone took the day off for family. I'll be back in the office tomorrow. Thank you, brother. Orlando Eileen, welcome. Arch the bank with a tape measure. Oh, yes. Yeah, no, that's why I was trying to be careful. Jason's playing hooky. Greenhorn, what's up, brother? How are you?
LifePo doesn't recover nearly as fast as LTO. That is correct. LTO doesn't mind cold and can handle undercharge without destruction. Charge rate is much greater. Correct. Can that bank be mixed with CMAX? I don't mix chemistries. You can, Nico, sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly. You can mix any kind of chemistries as long as you isolate between them. I don't know what the advantage would be of mixing CMAX with LTO. You're always better off, if you can, only having one chemistry charging in your vehicle. Then you eliminate issues. Wesley Spall, welcome. Over 200 amp hours of CMAX. Yes. Just joined. What banks? Jason Bono, I was referring to the new LTO chemistry that allows you to charge at a lower voltage, usually LTO and Skib. Skib is a brand, from what I understand, of LTO. I think everybody thinks that Skib is a chemistry. It's not. LTO is the chemistry that Skib is. Skib is a brand that makes cells. The LTO chemistry is something that we've used for a long time here at US Amps, thanks to the Prodigy. He introduced me to it. But these are actually LTO cells that are similar in size to the LifePo 4 cells. They're a little bit smaller, a little skinnier, but a lot stronger. This bank is about just a little more power than two 43.5 amp hour Skib banks, in the size of probably just about one. And you can charge down into the 14s without harming it. That's the big deal. So what will the bank run? What would you like it to run? A single bank like that can run anything that you would put two 43.5 amp hour Skib banks on. Two 43.5 amp hour Skib banks is what we had in the Team US Amps Dodge Raider on a 500 HC running 415s, and that's what we broke the record with a CCL bottom out no wall 2. Bottom out is 2 minutes at 20 hertz, I think. So, Zach Ferguson, welcome. How's it going? I'm tired. I'll be honest with you, man. I was just talking about how I'm old, fat, and haven't slept. So probably gonna go crash here after this. What cells? 5 amp hour or 24 amp hour? This bank, from what this is, 6S12P, 120 amp hour. And it's about 8 inches by about 16 inches. 6S 12P, 120 amp hour discharge. I run my bank at 15 volts, about 80%. Yeah, I don't know what you have there if you have Skib, but like I said, that's what's exciting about this, is that it's new chemistry, and it's able to charge at lower charge rate without damaging it or without lowering what it provides output wise. Correct, Dalton, and that's why this new LTO is different than what you took out of your vehicle. Yes, Jason, you are correct, but that's not what we're talking about. These are different cells. That's the point of my excitement. This is not something that everybody has. This is a new cell. This is a new LTO chemistry that allows to charge at a lower charging rate without limiting your output. George Delgado, can't wait to get my 15 Exterminator. Need ASAP.
George. I don't like when people do that. You just ordered your subwoofer the other day. Okay? You have to be patient. Do you see anybody here building subwoofers? I'm the only person here today. Jason just said on the live that he took the day off. That means we're short people filling orders. This is not a 20-level building. This is a shop in my backyard. There's only 2 of us here that normally fill orders. Jason normally does almost 100% of the order filling. But because there's only one of us here today, I have to try to pick up and do some things that I normally wouldn't do. You will get your subwoofer in the order it was received. Pretty sure Tony had 105 volts clean on the Merlin 5K. Yes, that was on the output. I think he was pretty surprised. A lot of people are going to be very surprised at the performance of the 5K and 10K. Well, maybe not surprised because they know what to expect from us, and that's why they purchased them. Yes, Damien, thank you. I'm looking forward to it. Brian Reinhardt, what's up, brother? How are you? Hope all is well. Lorenzo, welcome. All right. What kind of power will the 15-inch Merlin X take? Well, the ones that I've built, like this one here, has one of the original motors on it, and these are only good for around 2,000 watts RMS. The new motors that I had built that we can't ship here yet because we're waiting to get some funds going, they're double the Gauss of these. So I would say they'd probably handle, in lieu of 2,000 watts RMS, probably 3,000 watts RMS, the new Merlin X subs that we'll be building. If anybody's looking for brand new digital design Z12000 amplifiers, I have 3 of them brand new in the box with a ZVL brand new in the box. I would like to sell all 3 of them together with the ZVL. If not, I completely understand. This is a customer that wanted new Merlin amplifiers, and I took these in on trade. They are brand new, never opened. Well, one of them's been opened, the other 2 haven't. They've never been seen power. Brand new. I think I put them up for $2,700. I think I've seen them online as much as $3,500 or $3,700. But I am taking offers. I don't want these amplifiers here. I don't really want to put them in anything we have because we're US amps. But they are good amps. Just want to sell them for the customer. So if anybody is looking for them. All right. Any more questions from anybody? I am slowly wearing down here. I really appreciate everybody joining today. Oh, look at this. What do we got here? We got a little... Oh, thank you. Yes, I've been waiting for this. Put her down. Look, we got... this is the new US Amps mascot here. Hi. Hi. Hi, little one. Hi, little one. Hello. All right, if we don't have any more questions, I gotta get these opened up and sent to downstairs. I know the guys are waiting on this stuff. Mike is really good at blowing things up. Absolutely, that's how I figure out how to make things that don't blow up. All right. I apologize for anybody, for 3-inch. Everything that we have, Danny, we've created a file for. There's 3s right here, bud. This is a 3-inch. I've already put magnets in it to try it out. This is 3. This is 8. This is a 4. I just haven't printed the 6.5 yet, but I will. We have a file for it. Again, these were just for me to try out. It wasn't really made to sell, but I also know we don't have grills. If somebody has timbers and wants grills, I'm open to working something out with you guys. Obviously, anybody that knows 3D printing knows that it's not terribly expensive to do, per unit. It's the time in CAD work that it takes to design. I am not proficient in CAD yet, so we're lucky and blessed enough to have a team member that's really good at designing this stuff. Kyle does this stuff for me, and it's not free, obviously, but I try to be fair to everybody. I think you guys know that by now. I can't give these away, but if you're needing them, let me make sure that they work the way I want them to first, and then I will let you guys know. Christian, welcome, buddy. I was talking to your dad the other day. It's time to get that upgrade, huh? New exterminator. This is George's 15. Man, it's dusty in here. And you guys see I'm putting carpet squares down. I know they're a little dirty, but I got to get them all put down, and then it actually makes it quieter in here. Kind of nice. Thank you to Brendan for bringing those over. Michael James, cool to know. I just bought my 220 Eve. I don't know if it would change. Oh yeah, no. I wasn't trying to talk anybody into buying anything. I didn't purchase the cells to sell. I purchased the cells to make sure that our installs that come to the USAMPS R&D lab have what we need to, for our builds, and then any of our team members, if they need anything, obviously are always more than welcome to a bank if they need it at cost. Is there going to be a Merlin 5-key sunscreen for the windshield? I'm sure Rigo is hearing your question, and I'm sure that something like that could be answered. So, thank you guys very much for joining. I can't believe the amount of people we had participating in the live today. Really appreciate all your love and support. I'm hoping by this time next week we are shipping out the new Merlin amplifiers for everybody. Do me a favor, please spend time with your family, and thank you for being part of ours, the USAMPS family. I love you guys. Thank you very much. Have a good day.